with us right now says, I think more like 28.6, 28.7. What you're hearing there?
Right in there. Right around 86 million over 3 years.
There you go. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Ben Volen reporting the Browns are making a big run at Nate Solder. It's dependent on what Joe Thomas decides to do. He has not yet told the Browns if he'll retire or come back to the team. Lions re-signing safety Tavon Wilson to a 2-year, $7 million deal. Former Lions defensive tackle Haloti Ngata will sign a 1-year deal with the Eagles. Rams receiver Sammy Watkins is going to sign a 3-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs, according to Adam Schefter. That deal is worth $48 million, $30 million of it guaranteed. Free agent linebacker Anthony Hitchens also intending to sign with Kansas City. Meanwhile, the Bruins will continue their road trip in Raleigh tonight. They're taking on the Hurricanes at 7:30. Sarah Bob Beers, they have the call right here on the New England Honda dealers, 98.5 the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network. Celtics off until tomorrow night when they play host to the Wizards. Headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Join Zoe, Sarge, Steve DiFilippo, and thousands of others who made a 180 with their health. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Hardy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 the Sports Hub. More headlines in 30 minutes.
From Slam Dunks. Wow! And if you think a unicorn is there, my God! The buzzer beaters. He throws it down with 2 hands. The home of the Boston Celtics. 98.5 the Sports Hub. They work. Meanwhile, your Godzilla.
I know, I want to get it out.
98.5 the Sports Hub.
On the outside, you know, those ski boats.
I get it snow.
Yeah. I just got it. I didn't really have any hits after this. But when you hit it, man, you know when you got it. There were lots of these in the 90s, weren't there? Like lots of one-hit guys, right? Like Snow. What's the other one? There was a Tommy T. They had some good stuff, man, back in the day. CNC Music Factory had more than one hit, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Hammer.
more than one.
Don't hurt him, Hammer.
Hammer had
Please,
more than
Hammer.
one hit.
Don't hurt him. Sorry. Please, Hammer.
How much did you hate that music when you were spinning for BCN? They'll call it, hey, I miss you on BCN.
That was all.
But you're a big Beastie Boy guy. How much Beastie Boys did you play?
Over the course of, always played the Beastie Boys. I mean, going back to my first radio station, sure, always.
You don't do a rap station, you should play rap. You know, did you ever do that?
Yeah, we always got.
I'm sure you got hardcores at Crate.
Yeah, we did. But,
They're good Crate.
Some Rage Against the Machine, Beastie Boys, sure.
You ever play the Beasties on Cliff and Rob back in the day?
From Licensed to Ill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hot and happening. I mean, that's what you guys were all about.
They called them tunes back
Definitely
then.
hot and happening.
No, we're not doing that.
Why can't we do
12:04.
that? Why can't we do that?
Tuesday afternoon,
Why
blizzard
can't we do it?
outside.
Why
Come
can't
on,
we do
man.
it?
Every tune is going to be a hot and happening one.
Yeah.
There you go.
That makes your freaking skin crawl. That's not even me.
It's fine.
It's hot and happening.
Every tune is going to be a hot and hot. We're reaching yiggity.
Gas station near me.
What's wrong with you?
So much cooler now.
Yeah.
That's
It's like you pull up, you dig up those old videos of me. It doesn't even sound like me.
I think that sounds like me. That was 30 years ago.
And every tune is going to be a hot and happening one.
You don't do that. Maybe Sarge does.
Cadence
Headlines.
The cadence might be different.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dark Raiders in studio.
Blizzard outside.
Blizzard outside. Moving on.
Can we talk about what happened over the weekend?
Yes.
Man, that is Sherman moving to San Francisco. And also Aqib Talib going to the Rams. Now, I'd start with Aqib Talib because I thought he was the most realistic option for the Patriots had he been cut by Denver. He wasn't. He ended up getting traded after, I guess, rejecting a trade and saying he wouldn't ride. So why was he okay with the Rams?
Because of Wade Phillips.
And that was it. It was he likes the coordinator there, and that's his guy. And
They won
played for him in
11
Denver.
games last year. They won their division. They're a rising young team. He wanted to go to
Gets his $11 million.
he wanted to go to a place where he had a comfort level. And what's the difference between Los Angeles and New England? The willingness to take on that number. Because if the Patriots take on the contract as is, right, at $11 million for 2018, that eats up a bunch of their cap space. Whereas the Rams came into the offseason with about $55 million to work with. Now they got to take care of guys down the line. Aaron Donald will be this offseason. Todd Gurley could be this offseason. Jared Goff will be in a year or two. So they got a budget for those things going forward. But they had some room to work with because, again, like the Bears, like the Chiefs, like the Eagles, they've got a young quarterback on a rookie contract. And so that gives them breathing room. And look, they wind up with probably a better situation at corner now and letting Tremaine Johnson go, who they were paying $16 million for last year, bringing in Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters. Now, that thing could blow up because both those guys have had their issues.
You think?
Could absolutely blow up. So there's risk. But, do they play crap? It could be really good, too. Yeah, I mean, it could be really good, too. Because there's no better young corner in the NFL than Marcus Peters. And Aqib Talib was up and down last year, but he's got a great track record on the field. All kinds up front because he's got those two. And I don't think the Patriots were willing to go to $11 million for Talib.
No, I don't think they were either. It would have had to have been a better number.
Yeah. And if you're Talib, if you're Talib, if all things are equal, you know what? You're taking the money.
We also have no indication that the Patriots actually want to go and target that position. We just make this assumption. Think about it. They didn't call Sherman.
Because 5 a year. Because over the last 4 years you've been spoiled at the position, right?
Stop talking.
Over the last 4 or so years, this was a position that they didn't really invest in. If you go back 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Like they let Asante Samuel walk.
Right.
They got rid of
They ended up franchising Asante.
Right. Now, how do they value it?
Right.
I mean, they traded for Talib. They paid him an extra year to stay. Then they replace him with Revis. They bring in Browner to match with Revis.
That's perfect.
They had Malcolm Butler. While Malcolm Butler's on the roster, they invest in Stephon Gilmore. They trade for Eric Rowe.
Younger McCourty.
They've invested big time in that position. They draft Cyrus Jones in the second round.
Who sucks?
They've invested, but the point
coming
is,
back,
you know what I'm saying, Beetle. They invested.
Why?
in
I
the
don't
position.
know.
So, like, the recent history would tell us they're going to keep investing in the position.
How much money
But
was
maybe with bigger needs, you look at it, you say, you know what, we'll take care of that in the draft.
And I think from a
Because
money
we need to spend on
standpoint,
our front seven.
I hope they do. I hope
we
they
need
do
to take
because I
care
think
of.
they need-
We need to take care of Nate Solder. We need to take care of our front seven first, and then we'll worry about the secondary in the draft. We can spend a draft pick on a quarterback. We'll be okay if we do that. Those are expensive guys now. Like Jermaine Johnson's going to get like $14 or $15 million a year. Jermaine Johnson,
Malcolm's going to get more than 10.
and Malcolm's going to get more than 10. Wow. Like, if you want a corner right now, you've got to spend for them.
So we've been doing this all day. Every time a big team
Patriots spent
happens.
for one last year.
I was going to say, they spent for one last year. At what point?
On dit que le jeune fréquente
He started playing with the year. He did. Talked to McCourty a little bit about him, and he's like, just wait until you get an entire offseason. He understands now what we expect as far as.
Yep.
It's one thing to sit there in meetings and talk about, and they talk about this with walkthroughs. Is when we get out there in game situations now, you can't replicate any of it.
Well, that's what I would have had. Like, honestly, that's why, to me, Talib was a much better fit than Sherman. Because what did you deal with at the beginning of the year last year with Gilmore? He didn't look like a good fit. Because in Buffalo, he was only being asked to do one thing. He was saying, go cover that guy. So he had to learn how to play zone. He had to learn how to play in New England, where they're going to ask you to do a bunch of different things. And who's to say, like, if you bring in Sherman, who's to say it's not the same thing?
Right.
Because he's being asked really to do one thing in Seattle all the year. He's great at it.
Stay on one
Hall of
side.
Fame at it. But Like that was what he was being asked to do.
They didn't match up with Chase.
With Talib, at least if he had come in, if he brought Talib in, at least he knows, like, all right, they're going to ask me to do A, B, C, D, and I'm capable of doing all of it.
You got $12.5 million for Gilmore. McCourty's making over 8. Harmon's in at 5 a year now. They gave Chung the bump.
Yep.
And they're like, at some point, we can't pay another 10 on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, how much you want to spend it?
That's what they were last year. I mean, that's the thing. Like, last year, based on investment, like, for them to be any good on defense,